Hey everybody, we're here for a new episode, RLG Cast Reviews. I'm here with Putty, the Putty Man, and I'm here with JD, the JD Man. There's stuff in the link below. Check out their channels and subscribe to this channel because subscribe. Today we're going to be
Subscribe.
talking about Agatha and All Along and what she was doing that whole time. We'll give no spoilers, I guess, and then we'll talk spoilers. We'll do it quick. We'll give a score. So if you just want that, you stay for that, and then you can leave later. And JD's going to tell us what this show's about.
So basically, this show takes place 3 years after the events of WandaVision. Wanda cleared, or at least kind of overwrote, Agatha's mind, and she doesn't know who she is. So the townspeople, I guess, are playing along with her delusion, and then she doesn't have any powers, so she goes on a quest to get her powers back, and she meets some friends along the way.
That's as good of a description as you're gonna get without spoilers.
Yeah.
Putty, did you
Yes.
watch this show?
No, I didn't watch it at all. I just thought I'd sit here for for just shits and giggles. So
Okay.
excuse my French.
Good.
No, I did. I did. Of course, I did. I mean,
Okay, you want to tell us
I
how
mean,
you some things that you
well,
felt about it?
well, here's the thing. This show was kind of forced down my throat, especially since someone in my community really was like, "You have to make a big deal, watch it," which is funny too, because I didn't put anything out that was even related to it. And now that I think about it in the background, which I thought we were gonna do it
It's
last.
always
But
there.
anyway.
Just like that time in my video, you said this has nothing. You're not wearing anything Deadpool, and you're wearing everything Deadpool.
He got
I just
you.
realized. Yeah, I just realized she's in the background. I
You're
forgot you
wearing a
bought that thing.
Deadpool hat and a shirt.
Oh, I always wear that stuff. Anyway, but
And
the
Goldberg. Two Goldbergs.
well, I mean, we that's to another video. But
No,
gotta
it's
get
not.
you
We're not talking about him.
we gotta get you Goldberg from the Mighty Ducks to just throw it off.
anyway, um, but going back to what we are talking about, so here's my thing. Outside of when we get into spoilers, this show has some high and low points that are mostly low points in my eyes. Outside of high points that are more
This was bad.
point. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, for me, the greater whole of I wish this could have been a person that could have played this character in another form, I guess you could say. For example, I'll say cast members, but we won't reveal who they
We
are.
can't
For
hear you.
example,
You're too
what?
far away from the mic. There you
Oh,
go.
sorry. For example, I just forgot her name now. That plays the Green Witch.
Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, Aubrey Plaza. We'll find out later on what it is with her, but Aubrey Plaza, her character is something that I felt she's perfect for, but not in this role. Like, I feel like we were missing the opportunity to really enjoy her acting paralysis when it comes to this character. But I wish it was more revealed in other mediums of
I
Marvel.
thought she was one of the best things about the
No, she
show.
is. No, she is. But that's what I'm trying to say is she's the best thing about the show, but she's the only reason the show's good in my eyes. Because the thing is, like, I feel
No,
like
I
if they
like
took
Patty
her,
LuPone.
yeah, well, no, still, I'm still gonna stick with Ari Plaza #1 on it. I mean, and I mean, we're gonna get to it later because of how she is as an actress
I
and
absolutely
why.
love the way this is playing out. Sorry, Putty, continue.
Anyway, so my point to the whole thing is if you don't know, the secrets were pretty obvious in this show, which I'm not gonna say what they are until we get to spoilers. There's so many outside of one thing, everything beat by beat just seems so predictable. And at the same time, I didn't think this added anything to the overwhelming lore that is the WandaVision, which apparently is a trilogy TV series that they're doing. This is just part 2 of that series. So the show itself, I see where it's going, but at the same time, it was just such a lackluster show that
It
I
was a
could just
9 episode setup show.
yeah,
Would you say
exactly.
that
Yeah.
it's very different than anything else?
It
And
feels like it's
it
just
doesn't truly connect to the MCU.
it
No,
feels
I
like
would agree with that 100%. Like, it doesn't connect to anything other
no,
than WandaVision.
I'm
the
just
funny
setting
thing
up
is,
for my thing.
well, see, the thing is, there is one thing that, although there's only one minute thing that connects, and that's with WandaVision. And the other thing is there's things I want to connect that will never happen.
You're not
But
going to get Death in Deadpool.
hey, spoiler.
No, that's not a spoiler. No one even knows what that means.
Okay,
Well, I don't want to drag this out too long because I also want to go into spoiler talk where you can talk more
I do
about
too.
things. So, JD, can you tell us a little bit about it,
Tell me. Okay.
or what about you? Your thing
I
stuff.
felt the premise was good as a standalone show. It worked. if it had nothing to do with anything else, if this was just a fantasy sci-fi type of, it felt like a season of American Horror Story more than anything.
Mm-hmm. But a
And
really bad season.
right. And it kind of, as the series went on and the revelations started coming through, and then the finale, it fell absolutely flat for me. And that finale meant nothing to me. Like, it had this nice buildup, and I thought it was going to go somewhere. And it's like, yeah, I mean, we're not going anywhere. We're not going to reveal anything. We're not going to show you anything.
I mean, it kind of does.
Not really.
Not one thing. Only
It's
one thing.
kind of flat, though. It reveals who certain characters are, but
yeah, I don't know. It's quite revealing if you're really zoned in on it.
Plaza's outfit was quite revealing.
I mean, that's unfair.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, this is arguably the best thing MCU has ever done.
Really?
It's so well acted. It's so well written. It has the most depth to any character we've seen since like Endgame. It's crazy that both of you didn't like this show. Like, I'm absolutely baffled.
And
it's
he's
funny.
pulling our leg.
It's so well put together, episode to episode. It's so different, and it doesn't care about the MCU. And I think that's so important, because the issue that the MCU has is that it's always trying to force things to be tied in, and this thing organically just exists and then happens to also be tied in. I thought all the reveals were great. I think there's a twist at the end that catches everybody off guard.
Okay, that part you're talking about, yes. I'm talking about the whole finale itself kind of fell flat.
I think the last episode is completely out of place and unnecessary.
Yeah.
But I do think that the revelation in the last episode, when someone
The second last episode.
yeah, and
Yeah.
realizes a bunch of stuff is crazy. And like all the flow through the entirety of like where they're trying to go with this, and like there's a secondary story that's underneath. The one thing I really didn't like is that they start you off within the show making you feel like Agatha is a sympathetic character, but she's not.
No, she's a piece of
And
garbage.
as the show progresses, they don't really force that narrative on you. And then all of a sudden, towards the end, they're like, "Oh, she's bad," and it's like, "Well, how come for this whole time you've not been telling me that?"
Well, see,
I found that really strange.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing that made this thing so janky, was because, I mean, again, I'm going to get into spoilers when we get into that. So whenever
We'll get into spoilers in like 2 seconds.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm kind of the two, yeah.
Okay, so just give a score. Let's give a score, and then we'll go into
right.
spoilers. I was absolutely not joking. This is an 8 out of 10.
Me, it's like 6.5, 7.
You talked
7.
you both talked way too badly about it to give it a 7.
I was gonna give it just a 7.
Putty, you made it sound like this is a 3.5.
No, I wasn't.
The only good thing is Aubrey Plaza, because she's almost naked at one point.
No, it's not that. When we get into spoilers, I'll explain
okay.
that.
Okay, I gave it a 7. Let me justify my score. I did say that the premise was good. And I didn't say anything bad about the acting either. The acting was very well acted by everyone. The only thing I didn't like was the flow of the story, the way it led to nothing.
Okay, so since we're
that's my rationale behind it.
Are you
why
trying to give spoilers now, Putty?
Yes.
Okay, so that's it. I gave it an 8, 2 7s. Putty's maybe a little bit less than a 7.
Yeah.
That's it. We're gonna go into spoilers. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, go away.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.
So here's the thing. The show feels just like they did Wandavision again, but with movies.
Wandavision is not nearly as good as this show. Not nearly.
I don't know. Here's my thing. As far as acting, yes, this has better acting in it, okay? As far as storyline, I still think WandaVision had a better story than this, okay? And the reason is because this just felt like a rehash of that, whereas all the roads, because again, we do lead into finding out that Billy or William, well, Billy is actually Wanda's son, and that he's
Wicked,
the one controlling.
yes.
Yeah, he's Wiccan, and so it leads into he was the controller just like his mom, which great. That's a great twist and everything. Okay, here's the thing. All these characters, I wanted to be sympathetic to them, like their deaths and everything, and I didn't feel that empowerment. I didn't feel that sympathy to these characters. The only characters that were good to me was literally William, Agatha, and Death, Aubrey Plaza. And those are because
to me, the other 3 witches were way more sympathetic of characters than those three because they
I,
don't.
I do have to tend to agree with you on that.
With the
Yes.
Well, I
Wiccan
say sympathetic, but I
character,
said acting wise as interest.
okay, but I thought they were all really good. The girl who plays the one that reads the cards, she was fantastic. And her storyline in that one episode, that's where the whole show flipped.
That's Patty LuPone, yeah.
Patty LuPone.
Yeah.
Where the show flipped on its head for me. Like I already liked it, but that's where I was like, holy crap. When it
I
starts
did
giving you
really like the
background story
episode where
on her-
she's flipping through time.
Yeah, when it's
Yeah.
doing that and it starts explaining to you that
Yeah.
and then she sacrifices herself to die because she would rather spend the rest of her time with the rest of her dead family and like friends than be here. And she knew she served her purpose. She
Yeah.
was a protection witch who died. Oh, that's the other
Protecting.
girl. The other girl was a
But see-
protection witch who died protecting someone, and that's what death explains to her. You did fulfill your destiny.
But see, here's the other thing though. Remember, she did the fortune telling on William, or Billy, at his bar mitzvah. Why didn't she know this whole time he was controlling
Because
it?
Billy's
She never made
power
a
is
big deal
so
of it.
strong. Do you understand? That's what happened.
It left her speechless.
Billy willed himself into existence. He doesn't
Yeah.
actually exist.
Well, no, I
okay?
get that.
And then he not only did that, he kept everyone
willed-
around him under control, even though he was outside of the bubble of where the Wanda
right.
had done
That
everything.
proves his strengths, and that does not mean downfall
Then
him
the
as a character.
whole entire Witch's Road thing didn't
Was made up by him.
exist. He made that all up in his head, and Agatha knew it. She knew that he had the power to do that, and she used him to get her powers back.
That's why she said, "Oh, that's new."
Yeah, but see, why did it took her so long to face him about this if she already knew the road itself was not
Because
real?
at first she didn't want to admit it. She wanted to believe it was her son. That's who it was.
She wanted to believe that it was what's
but how would
Nicholas.
she know her? But how would she know? But she would know her son wouldn't have that kind of power
She
to
did,
be able
her
to make that
memory's
road.
still foggy. Remember, she keeps talking about that how she doesn't remember everything.
I don't
Once
know,
her
'cause the
memory
thing is-
fully comes back, you see the episode where she realizes it. It's after the Asian girl dies. when
Yeah,
they're
and
in
that's
the-
why
in the-
that's
in
why
the-
Patty LuPone's character put the hex on Billy, not to
But see,
reveal his name.
But see, at this point, you gotta remember, Billy had already taken her out of her spell, so she's back to the old Agatha. So she already knows. Remember, she even told Billy, this road doesn't exist. Okay, remember she says in that one thing. They even go back and flashback to it. So then he makes the road. So then she goes, why is she continuing to follow? And at that point, when she'd be like, oh, this kid,
Because the witches never turned on her. She was waiting for the witches to turn on her to take
so
their power.
But then what happens is
Listen,
the
the
road's made by-
explanation you guys are both giving is only making me like this show more.
Yeah, but let me explain. Let me continue. So at this
It's
point,
not-
let's say was it episode 2 that the road was made by Billy? Was it episode
Yeah.
2, right? Okay, so then episode 2, what episode did she finally face Billy and say?
I think
Like
five.
6.
It's like
Okay.
it might be the start of
All right.
5 or the start of 6.
So between these 3 episodes, if she's thinking this could be my son, then where is she thinking this road is being created when she knows the road does exist?
Because she
made that balance.
realizes it after that he's been doing it this whole time.
Yeah.
But when what is she thinking at this point? Where's the period at point where she's saying like this road doesn't exist in the first place?
She's
How
just
did it
going
suddenly
along.
come?
I think my rationale is I think she's just going along with it because she's waiting
But see,
for the
that's
witches
you
to turn.
But that's when you guys are waiting for a plot to be developed. When that's literally a plot hole in itself. Because think
Okay,
about
but
it.
if you stop for
This
a second.
plot was more like a web.
But listen to what you're saying. If you erase the information you find out in the second last episode, if you delete that information from your memory, that show has a plot for the entirety of the show.
Mhm.
It's them doing the road so they can get their powers back. That's the whole point of the show. You find out later that the twist is that he's been making this up and that she's been using him and that Death has been using both of them because she's trying to get Agatha to sacrifice Wiccan so that she could take him and then he can't bring back the other guy.
Okay.
Like it's very nuanced. There's a lot
Right,
going
it
on
is.
here. And
but
none of
see-
it is tied
And you
to
know
the
what's
greater
funny? The end
MCU.
credits gave it all away.
But see,
Yeah,
let me
literally.
ask you this. Let me ask you this real quick, okay? So let's look at this point then. When she sees the road appear, she's like, "Oh, I didn't do this. This doesn't exist. I made this whole."
She
She
never
doesn't
said
know
that.
what
She
the
said,
road
"Oh,
is.
that's different."
None of them
Right.
have ever been on the road.
Right, but see, remember, she made up the ballad was made up by her in the first place, or the ballad, the storyline about going down the road was all made up by her to steal other witches' powers, right? So here's the thing, then: if that is what it's been this whole time, she knew that she was using him and the other witches to get their powers. So when that road got developed, when at that point she goes, "Wait a second, someone else made this. Someone else made this."
Yeah,
point.
but
So
once
I say
again, like
3%.
he's saying, I'm not even questioning your thing of saying that this might be an issue. But what
Yeah.
he's saying to me counteracts that and actually makes sense where it's she was just waiting for them to turn on her so she could take their powers.
Like the protection witch does in that episode where she got her
Right.
powers back.
But she
finally
wants that
turned
the
on
whole,
her.
she wants that to happen the whole time, but she's also very intelligent when it comes to smart design. You think her past story with Wanda, she's always meticulous with her story. How is it at this point when she's going down the witch's road that she's never seen before, but she's even
because she doesn't remember.
She doesn't remember. She
I
just
can't
got her
stress
memory
that
back,
enough.
buddy.
She
doesn't remember everything.
You can
so she
catch
just
Right.
got her
moment.
memory back. That second to last episode, that's her gaining all her memories back.
Right. Okay, but see, how would she didn't know about Billy and them? Well, no, she was just in that. Okay, I can see
And
that part.
there's a hex on Billy to make sure that nobody knows that it's him.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I get that. Because remember, because the major thing is she knew the past of all these witches and what she's done in the past when she was grouping them together. But then, like I said, then the road itself, like, I don't know. It's just very weird how.
Then
she's got
again, it
memory
could
of
also
everything
be
else.
Aubrey Plaza feeding her these little things that she needs to know.
Right, and see, and that goes back to the one reason I really love it, and the character development is probably the best in my eyes, was Aubrey Plaza. And the reason I say this is this.
Aubrey Plaza doesn't even have an arc.
No, I know, but listen, when it
I
comes to
think Patty
death,
Lupon's arc was the
Yeah,
best.
for
Leela,
sure.
Lila's.
But this is the thing. You're just literally sitting here looking at us saying you think that Death's character has the best arc. Death doesn't even have an arc. Death is like
Well,
a
okay.
random cameo character for a couple
well,
episodes.
no, I get it. But here's my thing, though. I've been wanting Death in story, so I'll admit that that's the main reason why I wanted it, because having Death is a character that's been very integral to a lot of plot lines in the Marvel universe, and this is actually dipping into the comic books, like Thanos and the Infinity Wars, that kind
I
of thing.
think if you
Same-
don't have Thanos, I don't think Death works.
No, I agree. Here's my thing. That's the reason why.
And that's why I don't think we're getting Deadpool and Death.
No, I know
Even
we're
if
not.
you get Deadpool and Death, it doesn't work as good without
No.
Thanos.
Well, okay, I'm going to say this right now. I've already made a review of all these because I missed a lot of reviews. So I made a master review. I've already recorded today earlier while I was waiting for you guys. And I
Ooh.
talk about this too, okay? I said we might come into this. I'm not sure. So I'm going to bring this up here now as well. I said, I know for a fact she's not coming to Deadpool. I know for a fact we cannot
Maybe
do
she
the Infinity
will.
Store.
I just think
No,
it won't
that's what I'm
work as
saying.
well.
No, I think it would. And this reason why. This is why I'm so excited about Aubrey
I would
Plaza
like to
playing the
have her
role.
oversee the whole Secret Wars.
See, here, let me explain why. Aubrey Plaza, what makes her great is she's such an actress that she has beauty to her, she has a comedic timing, and she can be very scary looking. She has all three of those things locked
And
in.
Burt Macklin.
FBI.
And so then when it comes to Death, I felt like Death as a character in the comic books was really good. With Thanos, she was very much a dark character. With Deadpool, she was very more loose kind of character. Aubrey Plaza fits that role so well that I can actually see her in the Deadpool movie and actually being Death in the comic books, as well as playing with Thanos in the Infinity Wars as Death that we see. She's that good of an actress. So when I saw and found out she was Death, I
Yeah,
was
but
like,
Thanos is
oh,
gone. We're not
her-
getting a Thanos back.
No, I get that. But what I'm saying is that's why I said this is perfect casting. She feels like she plays this character, kind of like there's always those actors like Robert Downey Jr. was perfect for Iron Man. I feel like Aubrey Plaza is perfect for Death. Like I just feel like it was a perfect casting. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. I wasn't expecting that. That was a big thing. But I guess for me, when it comes to the show, is it just felt like they were doing another Wandavision, but they just led the surprise a little bit later than before. You know what I mean? Like it was like, oh, it's another family of Maximoffs controlling using their magic to control and using what they love as the thing. Think about it. Everything that he loved was a part of it, and just like his mom did. Okay, but then, for example, when that came out, I was like, well, why is it that she didn't recognize this before? And then when they showed the last episode, when they were showing the past, and she said they finally showed that she has control of the road, that's what made me go, well, then why didn't she know that this road was fake in the first place? And again, you guys say that she had lost memory. Okay, we'll use that as a tool, but wouldn't she also lost memory with all these witches she knew in her past that she's going to visit
Yes, that's
before?
why she literally doesn't remember them.
Yeah.
But she goes back like they need a covenant, and she's the one that goes to each one like she knows them.
Because Patty Lupone put the names on the list for her.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I forgot about the list. Okay.
Oh my God.
I
Do
did
you
forgot the
watch
list.
this show?
No, I
even
do.
go
Like
here?
she literally put all their names on the list.
Right, but
and
then-
then
I know.
that's why when Billy goes, who's that? She scratches the name off because she doesn't want Rio there. Because she remembers her. Because Rio was the
Okay.
one who gave her part of her memory back. And she remembered who she was.
Okay. That's where the plot hole in my brain was at. Because I was like, that was the thing. Because I was like, why would she
Brain
get
is a
together?
plot hole.
Well, you have to you understand where I'm coming from. Because like I said, again, same situation. You know, if she created this road as a a way to trick people, but then all of a sudden she's being tricked by the road. She's an intelligent character. She should be able to look past this and go, "Hey, something's not right here,"
But
and be
she
able to figure
did.
it's okay.
We explained that already, Putty.
But it took her a while though. Why did it take her so long though? When literally everything else she
When
pretty
someone
pretty
has
quick about.
amnesia, Putty, their memory does not come back to them immediately. Sometimes it could take years.
I mean, I mean, I guess,
And she
I'm
didn't
not.
just have amnesia; she was put under a spell to make her forget.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So is a bunch of other people, but they still I mean, they still remember, went back to normal life. Like I'm just wondering why she's so special.
Because the
of
hex
a
was
memory
broken.
loss.
They were more mind controlled than out of fear than having their memory erased like Agatha was.
So you're saying that Agatha during that whole time she wasn't even aware she was under the control until after
No,
she was
she
taught
knew.
it?
Agatha inside the bubble. She put herself in the bubble.
Yeah,
Well, no, I
because
get
she
that.
wanted Wanda's power. That was the whole purpose of it.
Right, but see, remember when Wanda put her back into the hex, she goes like, "Hey, your neighbor," like she goes back into her old ways when the old version of Wanda's world where the hex was. But see, remember, if you remember, each person whenever they were under that spell knew they were under it, and you'd see tears in their eyes, that kind of thing. So why was her
Because
so
she's a
different?
witch. Maybe it was a way more powerful spell.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, like I said,
I feel like this is where you're getting
Okay,
this wrong,
so
and
Putty,
I'm not talking about this anymore. She got a hex put on her, a complete full-on hex. They were just being mind controlled.
yes, there's the difference right there. That's exactly what I was going to say.
I mean,
They
do
were
you know
just
that for
being
sure, though?
because they said it.
Okay, all right, okay.
They
Well,
said
they don't
it
even
in
have to say
WandaVision.
it. You could see it. You just explained it. How did they know that they were in the bubble? They were being forced to do something, but they were conscious to what was happening. She was put completely like in a mind-numbing state of you're just this person now, go away. Anyways, that doesn't matter. I'm not talking about that anymore because I'm not going to have you repeat the whole thing all over again.
And thank God there was no
Aubrey
Wanda.
Plaza was good as Death. It was not perfect casting because for it to be perfect casting, I would have had to have seen Aubrey Plaza on the street and been like, that girl could be Death in Marvel. So that's not what perfect
Well, no,
casting is. She
I
was
mean, I
good.
understand what you're
It was a
as
good
far
choice.
as like characteristically wise, like
He was
as
not born
personality
to
wise,
play
yes.
this character. Anyone, I'm going to be honest with you. Anyone could have been this character.
Yeah,
It's
this
not.
character is
It's not an
inconsequential.
extremely nuanced like performance. There's not a lot there for her yet as a character.
Yeah, but I feel like she could take that character to what Death is.
But then
and I
again,
think a
Death
lot
is
of
what a
actresses
C
could.
tier, D tier Marvel character.
Yeah, and she's like a C tier actress. No offense to her because I like her, but it's not like they
Yeah.
hired like the Whitney Houston of singing to sing a song or something. She's just like exactly. She's not Gladys Knight.
Gladys Knight and the Pips.
She's the Pips. But yeah, she was good. She was really good. I thought everyone was good. A lot of people really hated Kathryn Hahn in this.
No, I thought she was okay.
I thought she was fine. I don't know why. I don't get it, but there's a lot of hate for her. I think a lot of people just don't like this show because Billy's like gay. And
but Wiccan is gay in the comic book, so what
Yeah,
does it matter?
exactly.
Listen,
Yeah,
people don't
exactly.
read comic books. if you interacted with like most of the people online that like critically rate movies, they've never read the Marvel comic books. They just only know the MCU. Right? And for me this is different, and that's why I like it. It's completely out of the box, and
this isn't really based on the comic either. So if look at it that way.
Does it have to be?
No, I'm not saying it does. I'm talking about so for example, like the little bits like Wiccan being gay, that's part of the comic book. But like the whole storyline with the Witch's Road, that didn't get added, I think, till later, and that wasn't even part of hers. Wasn't that part of Wanda's storyline?
I don't think that was even in the comics.
No, I'm pretty sure it was.
It was not.
I think I have one of the comics. Look it up.
Anyways, listen, nobody ever read an Agatha comic or a WandaVision comic. Sorry, Bryson.
The only Wanda comic people have read was probably House of M.
Yeah, which is not even like really her. Listen, it's not me hating on that because I like Elizabeth Olsen and I like her as Wanda, but in the comics, I've been reading the comics for like my whole life. I never liked Wanda. It's such a boring character. There's nothing interesting about her.
Well, the only time she was,
and she's a B tier character.
The only time she was a good character in my eyes is when she was involved with her family, with
in House of M.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's
any of the Avengers storylines, or even like the
Mutants No More.
Exactly. Yeah. Or like even some of the mutant stories they did with just the Brotherhood of Mutants or Evil Mutants when she was involved in those things. Those were good stories, but those are old stories too. You know what I mean? When she was first getting the comic books.
Yeah, and it's
Later,
also based around a lot of other people as well.
exactly.
Well, we're gonna get Vision Quest. That will be
And
nice.
that's the
That's
trilogy.
and that's gonna be where they get Tommy involved.
The
And you know what
music
I
in
mean?
this show was fantastic.
I will agree with you that
Yeah.
that was really good. Yeah, really
I
fantastic.
mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have anything else.
I'm done too.
Okay. Thanks for watching. Putty said he has a bunch of videos out, so let's go watch those. I hope it's not 4,000 videos.
Oh, it's actually one video. It's called the Master Review.
Oh, it's just all the reviews in one. I get it. I misheard what you
Yeah.
said. I thought you did
Is
a
it going to
bunch of
be about
reviews.
fishing and call it the masturbator?
That's what it is called. Anyways, it's a master class on catching bass. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever.